Hello, hello, testing 1 2 3, 1 2 3. Good morning and welcome into the live stream. I'll be with you guys in just a sec. Alrighty, everybody. Good morning and welcome in to this new More Weather live stream. It is 11:41 Central Standard Time right now, and it has been snowing on and off here in the St. Louis area. If you have been following along over on X, over on Twitter, whatever you call it, and if you don't follow me over there, make sure you do that. Link is in the description of the live stream. But if you have been following along, I have been posting a couple of videos of the snow that has been falling in St. Louis. Now, it's been on and off. It's been snowing, then it changes back over to rain, and it changes back over to snow. That's what we call wintry mix. We haven't seen sleet, but we have seen some good bursts of those wet, fat snowflakes because up in the upper levels of the atmosphere, it is very cold. And there's a small layer at the surface where it is above freezing, but that layer is not big enough to melt those snowflakes during those bursts of snow. So that's why we've been seeing those bursts of snow. And that line where it's just all snow has been creeping to the east and will continue creeping to the east towards the immediate St. Louis metro area as we go into the afternoon and overnight hours. And by the time we go into the overnight hours, we may change all the way over to snow. But it's snowing in a place like Dittmer, Missouri. I've been seeing reports of snowing all the way here where the radar is located here in Weldon Spring in St. Charles. So we're going to continue to see those bursts over in Columbia. We can see those heavy bands of heavy snow. And now we're going to get into forecasting what's going to happen for the rest of the day here in Missouri and across the Midwest and Southeastern regions, and into tomorrow where we have another chance for some snow showers, possibly accumulating to around 1 to 2 inches. So let me get that pulled up for you guys real quick here. Let me get that pulled up for y'all. Here we go. All right. So here is the latest run of the HRRR model, and if we go to around the time right now, so around 11, almost 12 p.m. here, as it is 11:43 here in Central Standard Time, but you can see we are seeing that snow mixing in with that rain. This is what the HRRR model is showing right now, and as we go throughout the day, we're going to continue to see that, especially west of the city, just west of the city, so about 30 minutes out of downtown, about an hour out of downtown. That's where we are going to be seeing that rain switching over to just snow, and that's where we could see some accumulations through here. So a place like Dittmer, Missouri, Union, Missouri, Pacific, Missouri, Wentzville, Missouri, Warrenton, Missouri, even St. Charles and Weldon Spring, Missouri, St. Peter's, O'Fallon, Missouri. That's where we could see around 1 to 2 inches of snow. And it just depends on if that heavy band of snow sets up and if we can get that rain to switch over to snow fast enough here in the coming hours. In the St. Louis immediate metro area, when I mean immediate metro area, I mean this area, we could see a ½ inch of snow, and I'll show you guys that in a second. But as we keep playing this out, so this is around 3 p.m. here, 4 p.m., 5 p.m., 6 p.m., we are starting to see the total switch over to snow here in the St. Louis area around Wentzville, or not Wentzville here, around Ladue, Clayton, Creve Coeur, Kirkwood, those immediate suburbs of St. Louis there, we are going to be seeing that switch over and some heavy snow, especially north and west of the city. Again, this is around 6 p.m. Here's 7 p.m. Here's 8 p.m. And we're really going to see that switch over as we do get those temperatures dropping down into mid to lower 30s, which will make it much more likely to switch on over to snow. And as we go into 9, 10 p.m. into the overnight hours, the astral bar is showing that rain still mixing with that snow. I think most of this rain will be snow. And then as you wake up on Thursday here, it goes out to 4 a.m., the snow will be gone, but you could have a little coating, maybe a half an inch of snow in that, again, that immediate metro here of St. Louis. But again, that area to the west of the city, that's where we could get 1 to 2 inches. So you wake up tomorrow morning and you could have 1 to 2 inches. I'm already getting reports from Dittmer, Missouri, where Lucas Munslinger is located, of some snow already sticking. So we're already getting that snow accumulating over just to the west of St. Louis, and that's around here. So again, we could get 1 to 2 inches in St. Louis. It just depends how long it takes for that rain to switch over to snow. And again, the surface temperatures at the ground temperatures in that soil and on that concrete and pavement, they're very, very high, way above 32 degrees. I think into the 40s and maybe even into the 50s in some areas, and that's why we're not going to see many problems out on the roads besides some slushy snow that will melt when cars drive over it. But especially to West City, you got to be careful. But that's why it's only on those grassy and elevated surfaces where we are going to be seeing that accumulation on the roads. Not many problems, which is very good. So we want those warm surface temperatures or ground temperatures so we don't get travel troubles out there on the road. Let me check the chat real quick. Hey, Mr. Storm. Nice to see you here. Thank you all for tuning in. We got around 6 viewers right now. Thank you all for tuning in. So let's look at what the HRR is forecasting for right now. This is, again, the latest model run for the St. Louis region, and around a half an inch of snow in the immediate metro St. Louis area. Could we get around 1 to 2 inches over towards Creve Coeur, Kirkwood, Wildwood, here over towards Baldwin? Yes, that's possible. Just, again, depends if we can get that switch over quick enough. And if you live in St. Louis, I know this because I live in St. Louis, we have trouble switching from rain to snow. It takes a lot longer than what is usually forecasted, so we're going to have to watch that again. And again, those ground temperatures are above freezing, which will not contribute well to our accumulations. And then to the west of the city, again, around 3 inches here, around Warrenton and Wentzville. Columbia, you're getting around 0.3 inches of snow, but especially here to the west of the city in this band of 1 to 3 inches here. Again, we could get up to 4 inches in some isolated spots, but most people will be dealing from a trace to an inch. And again, in those isolated spots west of the city, we could get up to 2, 3, 4 inches of snow here through early Thursday morning. Let me just check the chat here again. Thank you, Mr. Storm. And then, so let's look at tomorrow. Let's get this backed up a little bit. Sorry about that. So, after the round of snow that's coming through right now in St. Louis and tonight happens, again, we could get an inch in the St. Louis metro area, again, 1 to 3 inches to the west of the city. We are going to see another shot of snow tomorrow afternoon and evening, so Thursday afternoon and evening tomorrow, into early Friday morning through mid-Friday morning, and that actually could add up to a couple inches of snow in the St. Louis region across parts of eastern Missouri and across parts of western Illinois. So let's run this out around 5 p.m. This is what the NAM 3 kilometer is showing for right now, and this will change just a little bit, but this is pretty set in stone. Around 5 p.m., we do see some snow falling here in St. Louis, Missouri. Around 6 p.m., this is when we could see heavy snow start falling in the St. Louis area, some heavy bands of snows, that heavy banding setting up, especially to the north and west of the city. But those bands, they are very hard to forecast, so only time will tell where those bands set up. And then here going into late on Thursday night, so this is around 8 p.m., here's 9 p.m., here's 10 p.m., here's 11 p.m., And here's 12 a.m., wee morning hours on Friday. We're just going to see that snow continue. So if you go to bed Thursday night around 8 p.m. and then wake up Friday, there could be a pretty good, nice coating of snow there on your grassy and elevated surfaces outside your house. Will be enough for sledding or making a snowman? Probably not, but it will be nice to look at right after Christmas, right before the New Year. Little post-Christmas treat for you guys there in St. Louis. I know I'm going to love it. And you know me, I am going to be staying up all night if I have to cover this snow and see if it accumulates. I do expect it to accumulate, especially on those grassy surfaces, so I will have outdoor coverage mainly on Twitter, but I'll probably post a few videos here if it gets significant enough. And then we continue to see that snow moderate to heavy at times where those bands set up Friday morning. So this is here around 4 a.m. This is here around 6 a.m. And then by the time we go here into 10 p.m., that does draper off. But going into Tennessee and Kentucky, we could see some wintry mix along that Cumberland Plateau, Nashville, Bowling Green, Kentucky, Nashville, Tennessee. Even a couple snow showers into Memphis here if we get cold enough temperatures. Now, those cold enough temperatures, that's the main key. If they're not cold enough, we're probably just going to see rain. But if they are cold enough, especially in those upper levels of the atmosphere, then we could see some snow falling, even into North Alabama and Northwest Georgia here. And this is around 4 to 5 p.m. on Friday. So this is Friday afternoon into Friday night. We could see some snow showers into parts of western Kentucky, so Paducah, Bowling Green, Kentucky, southern Illinois, Boot Heel, Missouri, into northeastern Arkansas, and into western and central Tennessee here, northern Mississippi, northern Alabama, but it all depends on those temperatures. If they're not cool enough, if you're like at a temperature of 41, probably not going to snow. But we just got to watch that. So love to see videos of snow in northern Alabama. That'd be really cool. We don't see that a lot there during the winter season here. So again, we could see a couple snow showers. And here's what the NAM 3 kilometer is forecasting for snow totals from St. Louis all the way through Nashville into Illinois. And throughout, according to the NAM 3 kilometer model, throughout Illinois, we're going to have 1 to 3 inches of snow, and especially up here into the north central portion of the state, we could get up to 4 inches of snow where those heavier bands set up. Again, the NAM 3 kilometer often overdoes snow totals, often overdoes the cold air, and that sometimes leads us to a false conclusion on how much snow we're going to get. But it is saying for right now around 4 to 5 inches in St. Louis. I don't trust this. Don't count on 4 to 5 inches in St. Louis. I doubt that's going to happen. Maybe some isolated areas where those heavier bands set up could get 4 to 5 inches. But for the most part, I think in St. Louis, 1 to 3 inches, top 1 to 3 inches. At the most 1 to 3 inches there in St. Louis. And if we kind of have a rain coming in on Thursday afternoon, if we don't really see that snow and we see too warmer temperatures, then we could just have a half an inch in St. Louis. But I do think we'll see snow tomorrow afternoon and early Friday morning, and I do think 1 to 3 inches is possible. Here's the NAM 3 kilometer. Again, I think they're way overdoing it. 4 to 5 inches in St. Louis, I don't think that's going to happen. 6 inches north of the city, I don't think that's going to happen. Again, isolated spots for the most part. Most people in this region are going to be dealing with around 1 to 3 inches of snow, but it does have a good grip on the Nashville, Cumberland Plateau region, around 1/10 of an inch of snow, 3/10 of an inch of snow there near Nashville. So a little trace of snow there. I know some snow lovers there are gonna like that, but St. Louis, I think 1 to 3 inches, and that is shown here on the National Weather Service blend of all models. This is a very, very good forecast model to look at when you are forecasting those snow totals. And again, that's showing around 1 to 2 inches in the St. Louis area, and again, those heavier amounts to the west of the city. So I think this has a very, very good grip on the snow totals through here on Saturday through Saturday around noontime. This is what that is. I think, again, 1 to 2 inches, maybe 3 inches, 4 inches in some isolated spots to the west of the city. I think this is a very good handle on it. And then some higher accumulations over here into West Virginia as we get that lake effect enhanced snow going on there into the mountains there of West Virginia, southern Pennsylvania, here all the way down into Tennessee, North Carolina, and again that Cumberland Plateau over here near Nashville. So that about wraps up this more weather live stream, but I actually do have one more thing to show you. We're going to look into the medium and long range now that we have forecasted that snow event here around the St. Louis area, Missouri, Illinois, into Kentucky and Tennessee. So first thing we're going to do, after I check the chat, do you have a Yolometer 2.0? I have a Yolometer. I don't know if it's 2.0 or anything. But yeah, so let's get into the GFS model. We're going to go out pretty far, so take a lot of this with a grain of salt. But as we go here into Friday, again, we're going to see that burst of snow over there in St. Louis, Illinois, Kentucky, and Tennessee, and into the Appalachian Mountains. And then as we go into this weekend, not a lot going on, some snow into Wisconsin, northern Illinois. But as we go into next week, we're going to have some rain down there into the south. Could see a little system develop here off the coast with that cold air. We're going to have to watch that early next week. Maybe some snow into the northeast, but for right now, the GFS is not calling for that. And then as we go farther next week, again, this is getting more and more into La La Land every time I click this arrow here. But by the time we go into around the 6th or the 7th, I think this storm right here is one we're going to have to really watch. We're going to have cold air coming down throughout the United States as we go into the next week. A lot of areas of storms, a lot of areas of energy flying around the country, and I think we are going to have snow for somebody somewhere. We don't know yet because this is into the medium long range. We don't know all the details, but I think this storm or another storm coming along the storm track, which will be kind of more like this, since we are in that El Nino pattern. As those storms come along that storm track, we are going to have to watch for some big snows for some people. And then here's the European model. Last hour, again, this is more than 200 hours out. This is not this Saturday, but next Saturday. And it does show that system as well down here. So I think we're going to have to watch this one. We're going to have to watch the threat for some nor'easters into the northeast, as we are going to have that cold air. And like I said, the jet stream is going to kind of be like this, since we are in that El Nino pattern. Colder air coming down from Canada into the northeast, into the Midwest. All we need is one system to track up this way to get some big snow in this region. So I'm going to watch that. I'm not trying to hype it up. I'm just trying to show you guys the possibility for that. If the energy, the cold air all comes together in place, I think the time frame for a big storm probably would be from the 4th to the 7th of January. So next week into next weekend, not this weekend, but next weekend, I think we definitely are going to have to watch out for that. So again, that about wraps up this More Weather live stream. I hope you guys are more informed now, especially in the St. Louis area. I think 1 to 2 inches through Saturday is going to be possible in the St. Louis area. Enjoy it, and I will have outdoor coverage over on Twitter. Have a great rest of your day, the next day, and your weekend.